In this tutorial, you'll learn how to paint this cute Easter card. This is a little more advanced than my beginner tutorial, and you're going to learn a lot. You can download the outline page at debwatson.org and trace it onto your watercolor paper or card. First, for a smooth background, wet the paper behind the bunny and the eggs. You can do any color background you like. I'm doing 1/4 blue sky and then the area below that with a light green. You can see that this is pretty wet. If you get standing water on the edge of your paper, dab it up with a paper towel. I'm tilting my painting to run off some of that extra liquid. The blue is a little blotchy and it's not moving when I turn the paper, so I spritz it with the misting bottle and keep turning. If you let gravity do the mixing, you'll have a beautiful glowing color, so keep your brushes on the table. For more drama, I'm mixing a darker green to go just above the eggs. This is thicker paint, and I switch to a smaller brush to put the darker color on. Once the color is on, turn the paper and use gravity and your spray bottle to blend the colors the way you want. It works much better than your brush. I don't want the dark green to spread out, so I'm going to tilt the top of my painting up by putting something underneath. To create some faraway daisies with soft edges, I first tried dabbing some up with the paper towel, but it's just too wet and they're disappearing. Oh well, I'll put them on at the end. Now that the shine has gone off the paper, it's just starting to dry. It's time to sprinkle on some salt. Putting salt on a drying wash can add a lot of texture to your background. I use opaque white to add some small white daisies while the salt does its magic. Now to paint the eggs. I wet the bottom part of the egg and leave the highlight on the top. The first egg is going to be blue. The top egg is orange. And the third egg, it was going to be red, but I suppose an orange red will look just as good. Easter eggs are so pretty. And my salt is looking good too. Can you see the little splotches of texture it's creating? That same red-orange goes on the inside of the bunny's ears also. The back of this bunny is brown. You can use brown, gold, orange, any color you like, but you want to color with the darker value so that it'll stand out against the lighter background. On the bottom, try to add a little grass texture. Under the bunny's head is a little bit lighter, so add more water or yellow or gold. While the main color is on, you can add darker shading around the bottom of the head, because this is a pretty dark shadow in the photo. There are 2 areas of dark on the side of the bunny also. Once this area starts to dry, you can add more fur texture with some short strokes of a darker color, if you want. Now I'm going to paint the bunny's ears. I'm going to start with the flat wash of brown and then add dark around the inside edges and the bottom. You can paint some hair detail here also. The inside of the ears, besides being pink, are very dark along the inside edges and just a little darker around the outside edges, leaving some of the original pink, orangey pink, to show in the middle. The bunny's head is the most important bit. Start with the lightest brown or gold color and paint everything but the white spot and white under his mouth. The second wash is the same brown, just a little darker. That's more paint and less water. That goes in the middle of the forehead and around the muzzle at the bottom. Try to leave a bit of lighter brown around the left eye especially. The spot inside the nose is darker, and there's a little brown on either side of the lip line beneath the nose. The third wash of brown is darker still, and used to add some short dark hairs on the forehead, darker shadows behind the muzzle, and some little dark areas over the eyes. You can paint or draw a dark line where the nose and lips are. Finally, paint the eyes with black. My nose needs to be a little darker. Our bunny is almost done, so it's time to evaluate. You can play with the fur as much as you like. I like to soften hard edges by rubbing them with the damp brush. I like adding a lot of fur lines with brown, black, or white. He looks really cute if you put some freckles on his muzzle. And I'm adding a shadow under his mouth. The white spot looks a little harsh, but I'm going to paint that with opaque white at the end. This is one cute bunny. Next, it's time to finish the eggs. The top of the eggs in the sunlight needs a hint of color, plus I need to clean up those dark raggedy lines. I'm using leftover color, very watery, and some opaque white paint. While I have the opaque white, I touch up the white daisies also. The closer ones get some short white petals and an orange center. Now all we need is a bit of foreground and we're finished. Your foreground can be any color you like. I'm starting with some gold. Making the bottom and edges darker brown and pulling up a few grasses. Next, I'm adding a few green grass blades into the gold. If you start with gold or yellow and decide you don't like it, it's very easy to darken it up with green. I'll probably crop most of the foreground on my card, so I don't think it's that important. For the finishing touch, I'm adding one last daisy. And there you have a cute and realistic bunny with eggs for a lovely Easter card. If you're a beginner, try the easier card tutorial first, and you'll get some practice under your belt before you try this one. I hope you liked it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. It really helps my channel. Thank you for watching, and happy painting!